Hello, welcome to this class designed for neck and shoulders. We're going to have a look at a little bit of the mobility here and make sure that we are well oiled and feel comfortable. We've all had pains in the necks, literally and figuratively in our lives. So let's look at the effect that they can have, tension into the upper body wise, and release those. Today, definitely would recommend a brick, and I definitely would recommend a belt. It doesn't need to be a yoga belt, it can be any sort of belt that you can be long enough so that you can have it at least a metre long or so. So we'll start comfortably seated, perhaps cross-legged or into your hero's posture or seated with the legs extended in front of you. I shall come to being cross-legged. Using a little bit of height is always helpful so that the crown of the head is high, but also the spine is long and that your knees are in line with your hips. So here you are cross-legged. Maybe we're going to center ourselves, relaxing the shoulders, feeling the crown of the head going up towards the ceiling. And let's take a few breaths here to notice what we're bringing to the mat today. Maybe you're fretting about, maybe you're very calm. Perhaps you chose this class because you have been at your computer all day and you need a little bit of release. Or because generally this is quite a tense area in your body. Notice your breath. Notice its ease and its length. Nothing to change, just noticing. And then when you're ready to, we'll slowly open the eyes. Bring the gaze back through towards the centre. And from here, simple neck movements. As we inhale to the centre, as we exhale, gaze towards the left. Try to keep the shin parallel to the shoulder. Inhale back through to the centre and over to the other side. Inhale to the centre, to one side. Inhale to the centre and to the other side. Let's do this twice more, to the centre, to the side. Complete this round. Then come back with the gaze to the centre this time. As we inhale, imagine that you're keeping the back of the neck long and the throat long as well. So you simply gaze up, getting that front of the throat opened. Then you gaze back through to the centre and you follow an imaginary line that will cross between your shins or your legs. Stretching into the back of the neck. Let's do this twice more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Come back to the centre here. You may want to change the crossing of your legs, or you may want to extend your legs if that's not so comfortable for you. Let's look at taking the arms out to shoulder height, and then we're going to turn the keys and the locks. So for now, the palms are facing down, the thumbs are pointing forward. You're going to make the thumbs point down, and then if you can, back behind you so you can see the shoulders are internally rotating. Then come back, palms up, and then you open the palms so the thumbs are behind you. Let's do this twice more. Good, then let's come back through towards the center this time. Release the hands to the side of the hips. Let's take the left hand a little bit behind. You can even take it to the other side of the waistline and you can make it hold onto the arm as well if you want to. If it's not reachable, then simply have it to the lower back or behind you. Then from this ensures that the shoulder is rolled back. You're going to take the right ear towards the right shoulder. So you might feel quite a stretch onto the side of the neck. Allow your gaze to fall where it wants to and take about 3 breaths here. Bring the head back through to the center, release the arm that is behind you. Take a breath. Move to the other side. So this time the right arm comes behind you, maybe reaches towards the left arm, stays on the waistline or on the floor behind you. Try to have the left ear towards the left shoulder. Allow the gaze to fall wherever it wants. Notice how it feels on this side of the neck compared to the other side. And take 3 breaths. Come back, neck to the center, gaze to the center, release the arm, and let's take some shoulder rolls. So you're going to make some circles, however little or big, and then in the other direction. Good. From there, let's take the hands forward, interlace the fingers and press the palms away. So we can stretch here. We can see the thumbs pointing down and then the little fingers pointing up. Try to make the thumb tips touch maybe the fingertips or at least one nail on top of, or one nail covered with one little finger. From here, try to straighten your arms. Not comfortable, simply release the palms facing towards you. And you're going to inhale and lift the arms up towards the ceiling or towards the sky if you're outside. Relax the shoulders. And then imagine that you're a little nifty suitcase. And carry on, and then somebody's trying to lift you and your handle is your arm. So you're going to lift, so finding a little bit more space into the side of the ribs. And then take the arms a little bit more behind you and relax the shoulders. Make sure that this is no discomfort. So it's okay to have your arms here if that's bringing as much stretch as you can take. Remember to always be kind to yourself. So you might start to feel a little bit of fatigue. And then you're going to come back with the arms forward and interlace the fingers and release. Good. Again, a couple of shoulder rolls in one direction and then the other. Then here I'm going to release my legs forward. And if your legs are already there, just give them a little bit of a shake about. Hopefully you can still see my legs. There we go. Let's take some cat-cow motion, being in a seated position here. So here, we're going to inhale and have the elbows to shoulder height and the palms facing up, so we're like a goalkeeper, and we receive the ball in the chest and we're going to push it away. So as we inhale, and then as we exhale, we receive the ball. It's a huge ball, so we're rounding so we can feel the stretch into the back. Allow the head to be gazing towards your thighs. Let's do this another 3 times. Inhale, chest bump, exhale, round. And you can even, on the next one, as you chest bump, maybe gaze up towards the ceiling a little bit. Try to keep the elbows to shoulder height. Exhale, round. Good, so now we inhale and we exhale. Good, release the arms out to the side of the body. For the next one, you will need to have your belt at hand. And I'm going to be facing back towards the camera. You can be again sat anywhere that feels comfortable. Now, take your belt. I'm folding this one in half just because I don't want any bits to be flaying on the floor. Onto the right shoulder. You're going to take your arms out to shoulder height, and then the right palm faces up towards the ceiling. Take it up towards the ceiling, bend the elbow, and reach towards your belt, or maybe towards the space between the neck or the shoulder blades, depending on the length of your arm. The other arm will come to the side to try to bring the tricep in, so that's the part that's behind the arm. Tricep in to lift it up. And then maybe help it along a little bit. Left arm, this time thumb down, turns in, bends at the elbow, and then we'll reach towards the belt or towards the fingers. So if I turn around, you will see either bringing the belt or the fingers here. Into Gomukhasana arms. Very good to stretch the armpits, stretch the shoulders. Can you breathe and can you pout? Can you give me a lovely pout? I can see some pouting, yes. Some minimal, some very there. And then we'll release. Oh, yes. So you might even feel the blood flow coming back to the shoulders. Let's do this on the other side. Take your arms out to shoulder height. This time the left palm turns up, comes up by the side of the ears, bends, and then you reach towards the belt. You can take the other arm to help lift triceps and biceps, to lift them up a little bit so you get even more space on the side. Take the elbow back if you can a little bit, so upper arm and ear may be in contact. Then thumb down and then bend the elbow. Now you may not even be able to go as high up to, you may have the bottom arm at the bottom of the belt there. If that works for you, if that makes you work enough into your body, and you'll know because this is your body, not mine, then stay there and explore the sensation. Take some breath. And I'm asking you to pout because when you pout, you're not biting your lips or frowning, so you're actually relaxing in this a little bit more, as well as sending kisses. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to release. Ooh, well done. So we've released the shoulders there, excellent. This time, to take perhaps a counter posture to this, so we've opened into the chest a little bit, and we certainly oil those shoulders. Here, we're going to come into our eagle arms. Eagle arms, facing forward, we take the arms forward, we'll take the right elbow on top of the left elbow so they cross. And then you turn the palms facing away or either side of your mat if you like. And then those that have issues with the shoulders will hug themselves. Those that can will take the palms facing away from one another. There may be a gap between them. Or you can even reach towards the thumb, that's on the upper arm, with the arm that is underneath. And we're going to keep a little bit of space between the chest and the arms. Elbows are to just under the face here. You can release the shoulder blades back and down. So the shoulder blades separate away from the spine here. But I'd like us to be able to move the neck from side to side. So we're being a little bit curious, we're gazing from side to side. Remember also that if being sat on your knees or cross-legged or legs extended for that long is not that comfortable, you can also do this on a chair. And then we're going to release the arms, take the hands to the side, allow for a couple of breaths, and then we'll change side. So we take the arms forward, this time the left arm crosses over the right. Again, we turn the palms away, we may hug or palms away or take the thumbs so that they're pointing towards the third eye. And here, elbows extended. Again, look from side to side so that you keep that mobility into the neck. Come back to the center, release. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll here. Then let's come to our hands and knees. So if you've been sat this time all the time, then you want to maybe stretch those legs a little bit. So we'll all come to our tabletops, and then we're going to come onto the toes of one of the legs at the back. Keep the knees slightly bent so that you can shake it off. And then over to the other leg. We focus onto the upper body, the neck, the shoulders, the upper spine. So let's give this, there we go, a little bit of release. Whilst we're here, let's extend the leg as well. Bend the knee, and then this time take the knee out to the side and make some circles. So if you're not sure what it looks like, I'm trying to do it from all angles. We have the knee up, then we're taking it out to the side, to the front and to the back. And I'll show you in the other direction what it looks like from the back. So this time you take the knee towards your arm, out to the side and back. Good. Let's do this on the other side, the other leg that is. Take the other leg back, lift, bend the knee, and take about 3 to 4 circles. Just because, as much as we've worked onto the upper body here, we want to loosen the hips a little bit if this is going to be the only class that you're doing today. Sit back onto your heels, take the hands behind you, forehead may reach the floor, or you may support it with a brick. That might be quite nice too. Remember, options for your knees. If that's not quite comfortable, you can flip onto your back and hug the knees in towards the chest, or maybe take the knees separated, or one knee out to the side, or even stretch it out to the side as you come forward. And then slowly come back up. Excellent. From this, we'll be finding that we're back onto the hands and knees. Issues with the wrists, you can come up onto your fists. Otherwise here, you're going to allow the head to dangle, so you'll have the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And then from here, remember that little suitcase that you wear. Imagine that you've got a handle here in the middle of your back and you're trying to be lifted up, but it's not the owner of the carry case that want to take it away. Somebody wants to steal it. So you're going to be really resisting, palms down to the floor, shins down to the floor, and then make the shoulder blades separate as you round into your back, and you allow the neck to be long here. So right now I'm gazing towards my pubic bone and maybe the belly button. Stay here for another couple of breaths. The thief has gone away. You can now relax. And so you're going to allow your belly to hammock a little bit. You can take that arm a little bit wider and allow that chest to soften, the elbows to bend a little bit, your sitting bones to be wiggling about. Good. Sit back onto your heels and come back onto your shins if that's more comfortable for you. Give your wrists a little bit of a shake here. And we come back onto our hands and knees. Here we'll be threading the needle. So take the left arm forward, take the right arm up towards the ceiling, follow it with your gaze if you can, and then as you exhale you're going to scoop through and under. Maybe your head comes to the floor. Inhale, come back up through to the center, lift. Exhale, scoop through and under. Let's do this one more time. Remember, if that's not comfortable for your knees, you can pad under your shins so that your knees are not actually touching the floor. So for instance, or you can actually use bricks as well. We're here, instead of having my knees to the floor, I've got my shins here. So then when I thread my needle, my knees are not on the floor. Alternatively, before I show you on the other side, you can do this seated, where you take one hand, take the arm, and then you scoop through and under. Let's try this on the left side. So you're taking the right arm in front of you, left arm lifts, then comes through and under, and lifts again, and through and under, and lifts again, and through and under. Good, then let's come back through towards the center. You're going to come back onto your bottoms and extend the legs forward. Take the flesh away from underneath the buttocks. Have your feet flat and the knees up. So here you can allow yourself to fall forward. I have my feet about hip width apart so I can allow for my breath, for my belly, for my chest to hang there. And then if you can, you're going to reach towards your feet, so you can even grab onto the big toes if you want, or hold onto the big toes rather than grab. And then very gently allow those legs to come forward. So keep the belly in line with the thighs, and also keep your neck loose. So I'm lifting my head slightly because I want you to hear me, but really you want the head to be between the knees, and at some point the head won't go as low down as the knees, but keep the belly towards the chest, and imagine the crown of the head coming forward. And you may not even straighten the legs all the way forward, it doesn't matter here. You want to be as snug as a bug in a rug, folding forward here and allowing that neck to be soft. And then slowly gaze back up and curl yourselves back up. Feet flat to the floor, slide your bottoms down. All the way down to the floor here. If you have issues with your knees, you might have a brick between your feet. This is because if you have arthritis in your knees anyway, it'll definitely help keep those knees aligned, but also your feet will be pressing against the brick to keep that strength, and you'll strengthen onto your inner thighs as well. So from here we'll do a couple of dynamic bridges where we inhale and then we'll lengthen the tailbone, we'll lift the upper body, and then we exhale, we release. Let's do this once more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Now if this feels quite enough for you and quite nice, you can do this 5 more times, Or you can inhale, lift, and then stay for up to 5 breaths. If you feel you have the mobility in your shoulders, you can roll over onto one side to roll the other shoulder under and then the other one under. You may even interlace the fingers underneath your body or hold onto the side of the mat. That is quite a nice one to keep that length into the front of the body. And then take another 3 breaths here. Remember your option of coming up and down, rolling your spine. One more breath. And then roll the shoulders out, slowly and curling yourself all the way back down. You can slide the brick out to the side, knees together. Knees one at a time in towards the chest to hug them. Good, and to finish here, we'll take some side to side. So I'm going to move this way so that you can see that I've got my knees in towards the chest. I'm going to take my arms to shoulder height and then release my knees over to the right as my gaze goes over to the left. And stay here for about 3 to 5 breaths more. Bring the gaze back to the centre, the knees back through to the centre. Recenter yourself, toes and heels and knees together. You could have the feet to the floor if that's more comfortable for your back, but otherwise here. We aim to keep both shoulders down to the floor. We've worked really hard at softening and opening and stretching and strengthening those areas. Gaze over to the other side. Take 3 more breaths here. And then bring the gaze to the centre, the knees to the centre. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Forehead to knees. Then release the feet down, release the head down. And then get yourself into a comfortable position for a couple of minutes of rest. So maybe the legs extended or the feet flat and the knees up. The hands a little bit away from the side of the body. And you're breathing. Allow the body to rest. Bring your awareness into the neck and the shoulders. What was it like before you practiced the class? How were your neck and shoulders feeling? And how are your neck and shoulders feeling now? you feel ready to, gently bring your body back to the surface. And then gently bring the feet flat to the floor. Roll over onto one side, supporting your head with your hands. Open your eyes. And very gently, so as not to undo any of the work that you've just done, press the top hand down to the floor and bring yourself back up, the crown of the head coming up towards the ceiling. Last. Find yourself into a comfortable seated posture. Let's inhale, arms up. Exhale. 2 more. Let's take one more breath. Release the thumbs to the forehead for kind thoughts, to the lips for kind words, and to the heart for kind actions. Namaste.